Hello, guys. Welcome to webinar about EB synergies. This one will not take long. I just wanted to introduce you to a very simple concept through which you can arrange synergies within your EB team. But first of all, let's identify why do we need to have synergies and why it's so important to work together with your teammates, even if you think that you are super independent and your work is not in any way influenced by your team members. I can reassure you this is not true. And I would love to share a personal story from my EB experience as well. So, in the year 2016, I started as LCVP OGV, and I was pretty much thinking that my results will be super dependent on me and my team and how I am working with people inside of my functional area. What happened in reality that first, I would say half of the term, I didn't have proper synergy with my LCVP marketing, and that led to lack of opens. And even with good conversions, I was not able to achieve my goals in OGV I planned for summer because I was simply not getting enough people, and we were not communicating properly to identify the problem and see what can be done there from both of our departments to make sure that the goal is achievable. So that was my mistake, and I want you not to do the same mistake in your terms. Please pay attention to this and take at least 30 minutes of your time together with your team to establish synergies and see how you can work properly together throughout this term. This is the very simple spreadsheet. It's called Synergy Mapping, and I will share with you the link on Slack after this webinar. This is the matrix through which you can establish synergies together with your team. What I recommend you to do is to sit together and for each person, for example, I'm LCVP OGX, and I will input here that any topic I think I can synergize about with my LCVP ICX. Of course, I will not synergize with myself, except maybe from self-motivational conversations from time to time. But then I will have synergies with my LCVP TM, LCVP Finance, and LCP. Yes, you can also have synergies with LCP, and I will show you how LCP can help you to boost your performance as well. So let's say this is my OGX example, right? In most of the cases, it's quite similar to ICX one, and I'm letting it to your imagination and to your personal team thinking and vision on how you can establish all those synergies together between one another. But I just wanted to give you an example of how it can be done from OGX perspective. So let's say I have LCVP ICX, and it might seem that we have completely different directions and functionals. So how can we synergize together? Look, you can have common educational touch points for your members. You can educate your people on sales, you can educate your people on value delivery, and for that you do not necessarily need to make two separate functional meetings. You can have one common for those of two functions of yours, and you can deliver this knowledge together. This is something we also used to do in Kiev with my LCVP operations, and it was super cool to have common touch points once in a while. You can use common tools, for example, for value delivery standards tracking. You can organize super cool operational campaign and compete with each other by every week counting who is getting more approvals, ICX or OGX. That can boost your performance for sure. With your LCVP TM, you would design team structures. You would also organize recruitment based on your operational goals. You will implement local education cycle, and you will take care of capacity building in your members to perform their operation. Of course, LCVP TM is a huge support for you as LCVP operations in terms of also personal development of your people, PDP filling in, setting personal goals, again, in education with all the necessary common topics that your members should be aware of. So the synergy is probably one of the most important for LCVP of operations. Moving on to finance, for sure you will co-create the budget, which will allow you to also look into investments you can make throughout your term to boost your operations. And of course, you will gain a better understanding on how your results impact financial sustainability of the LC and how is your product contributing to the incomes and costs of your LC overall. Your LCVP Finance will for sure help you with legalities, with keeping all the documentation properly, and with making sure that every operation you perform is legal. You can also talk about different types of campaigns, organizing discounts, for example, for Black Friday or for go on internship together with a friend. Whatever crazy idea you have, talk to your LCVP Finance who can help you to make it happen if it makes sense and to boost your operations. And finally, with LCP, it may also seem like LCP cannot support you in your operations directly, but this is not true. Your LCP can support you with team leaders capacity building because both of those positions, team leader and LCP, are team leader's position, right? And he can share some knowledge and insights with your team leaders on how they can perform in their roles better, which will help your operations, of course. And finally, international relations. If you are looking forward on how to establish contacts with other LCs from Italy, let's say, or from Mexico, you can ask your LCP if he has already some connections with LCs in those countries he can put you in touch with. So, as you see, you can find multiple synergies with people in your team. And what I recommend you to do is to literally sit for 30 minutes altogether for every person to fill in his role and then discuss and see all together how you can make those synergies happen, what would be the most important synergies in your term, in your team, and how you will make sure they are happening. Because the next most important step in arranging synergies inside of the EB is to establish contacts with other LCs inside of the EB. And this is where you will find multiple synergies and discuss how you want to make those synergies happen. And step number three, of course, make sure you meet in established time and talk about the topics you want to cover. Thank you guys. Ask questions in comments. I will send you link to this tool on Slack. You can make a copy and fill it in together with your EB.